Time does not announce itself when it changes a life. It moves quietly, shaping moments, carving identities, and leaving behind lessons only visible in reflection. Some people live loudly for a moment and disappear. Others endure, evolving with time, carrying its weight without being crushed by it. Today's story is about Leonardo DiCaprio, a boy born into instability, a young man overwhelmed by fame, an artist obsessed with truth, and a human being who chose responsibility over comfort. This is not just the story of a Hollywood actor. It is the story of time, and of a man who learned to listen to its whispers. Leonardo Wilhelm DiCaprio was born on November 11, 1974, in Hollywood, Los Angeles, a city often associated with glamour, yet deeply rooted in contradiction. For Leonardo, Hollywood was not red carpets and privilege. It was fractured families, rough neighborhoods, and survival. His mother, Ermeline Indenbergen, was a German immigrant who raised him mostly on her own after separating from his father, George DiCaprio, an underground comic writer and publisher. Money was scarce, stability was fragile, but imagination was abundant. Leonardo's name carried a poetic origin. While pregnant, his mother felt him kick for the first time while standing in front of a Leonardo da Vinci painting in Italy. That moment, small and personal, felt symbolic, a child connected to art before birth.
Growing up, Leonardo lived in areas plagued by crime and addiction. He witnessed realities that many children are shielded from. Instead of hardening him, these experiences sharpened his empathy. He watched people closely, their gestures, their pain, their contradictions. Long before acting became a profession, observation became his instinct.
Leonardo's childhood was shaped by contrast. On one side, instability and danger. On the other, creativity and intellectual freedom. His father introduced him to artists, writers, and unconventional thinkers. Leonardo spent time in creative spaces where ideas mattered more than status. He learned early that identity was something you built, not inherited. School, however, was difficult. Leonardo struggled with structure. He was restless, curious, and easily bored by routine. Traditional education could not contain his imagination. What he lacked in discipline, he compensated with awareness. He absorbed human behavior like a sponge. He noticed how people hid fear behind confidence, how anger masked vulnerability. Acting emerged not as a dream of fame, but as a language, a way to express what he could not articulate otherwise. Leonardo began auditioning at a young age. The entertainment industry was harsh and dismissive. Rejection became a normal part of life. Casting agents repeatedly suggested that he change his name to sound more marketable. He refused. His name was his identity, and he was unwilling to sacrifice it for acceptance. Small roles followed: commercials, educational programs, television appearances, none of it glamorous. But Leonardo treated each opportunity seriously. His role on Growing Pains gave him visibility, but more importantly, it gave him experience. He learned professionalism, discipline, and the mechanics of performance. Unlike many child actors, Leonardo did not seek attention. He sought mastery. In 1993, Leonardo DiCaprio delivered a performance that altered the trajectory of his life. In What's Eating Gilbert Grape, he portrayed Arnie Grape, a boy with a developmental disability. The role demanded complete emotional surrender. Leonardo studied behavior meticulously, committed fully, and erased himself entirely. Audiences were stunned. Critics were silent before applauding. Many believed the performance was not acting, but reality. At just 19 years old, Leonardo received his first Academy Award nomination. But what mattered more than recognition was clarity. He knew now what kind of actor he wanted to be. Not decorative, not convenient, but honest. The mid-1990s marked the arrival of global fame. Romeo plus Juliet transformed Leonardo into a generational icon. Fans screamed, magazines followed him relentlessly, His face was everywhere. Then, in 1997, Titanic arrived. The film became one of the biggest cultural events in cinematic history. Leonardo DiCaprio became one of the most famous people on the planet almost overnight. But fame felt suffocating. Leonardo struggled with the loss of privacy, the reduction of his identity to an image. He feared being trapped as a symbol rather than respected as an artist. Instead of embracing easy success, he withdrew. At the peak of popularity, Leonardo made a decision few expected. He chose difficulty. He rejected safe roles and sought complexity. He worked with directors who challenged him psychologically and emotionally. Films like The Beach explored isolation. Gangs of New York examined violence and identity. His collaboration with Martin Scorsese became legendary. Together, they explored obsession, ambition, madness, and morality. Leonardo no longer played heroes, he played humans, flawed, broken, desperate. Despite powerful performances, major awards continued to elude him. He was nominated repeatedly, yet never won. The public turned it into humor, memes, jokes, but Leonardo remained unaffected. For him, awards were not validation, truth was. In The Aviator, he portrayed Howard Hughes' descent into mental illness with painful accuracy. In Blood Diamond, he highlighted global exploitation. In The Departed, he embodied internal conflict. Each role deepened his craft. Leonardo DiCaprio is known for extreme dedication. He pushes his body and mind to limits. He endures discomfort, pain, and exhaustion to honor realism. In Inception, he explored grief and memory. In The Wolf of Wall Street, he portrayed moral collapse without celebration. In Django Unchained, he embodied cruelty with chilling restraint. Then came The Revenant. Filmed in brutal conditions, Leonardo endured freezing temperatures, physical injury, and emotional strain. It was survival as performance. In 2016, he finally won the Academy Award. It was not a victory, it was recognition of endurance. Leonardo has long believed that influence carries obligation. In 1998, he founded the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, dedicated to environmental protection and climate awareness. He spoke at the United Nations. He produced documentaries. He invested millions into sustainability projects. Climate change, for Leonardo, is not political. It is personal. Time is running out, and silence is complicity. Despite global fame, Leonardo guards his privacy fiercely. He avoids social media. He rarely discusses his personal life. Friends describe him as thoughtful, intellectual, and deeply curious. He studies history, science, and global systems. He understands impermanence. Leonardo DiCaprio continues to evolve. He chooses meaning over spectacle. He is not chasing immortality, he is respecting time. His legacy will not be defined only by films, but by impact. Time whispers lessons quietly. Leonardo DiCaprio listened. He learned that fame fades, that art demands sacrifice, that responsibility is unavoidable. His life reminds us that success without purpose is empty, and that time once gone never returns. This has been Whispers of Time.